McLaren and Ferrari fought for the 2024 Formula One Constructors Championship until the last race of the season, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, when the Italian side unfortunately narrowly missed out on the title. Both teams' hope is to once again compete for that goal in the upcoming Formula One campaign. However, the preparation of the two teams for the championship that will start with the Australian Grand Prix, which takes place at the 5.278-kilometer Albert Park Grand Prix circuit in Melbourne on March 16th, has been completely different. Let's take a look together. McLaren's work can be summed up in one word: continuity. After winning the World Championship last year, McLaren decided to change very little for 2025. The drivers, Lando, Norris, and Oscar Piastri, were confirmed with full approval, just like the main members of the organization. Andrea Stella's work as team principal has been excellent, and the same can be said about the work done by Zak Brown as chief executive officer. Also, from a technical point of view, the changes made to the car are substantial, but not revolutionary. Last year's project worked, and there was little reason to completely overhaul it. Finally, the approach to the Bahrain pre-season testing session seems to have been as follows, based on recorded times and available onboard footage. Once the conditions to make the car perform at the expected level were found, the goal was to push further by extremizing the setup. At Ferrari, on the other hand, many things have changed compared to a few months ago. The team welcomed, at the end of last year, the new technical director Loic Serra and the new right-hand man of team principal Frédéric Vasseur, namely Jerome D'Ambrosio. It is also impossible to forget the arrival of seven-time Formula One world champion Lewis Hamilton and the SF-25 project, which is significantly different from the previous car. The switch from a push-rod front suspension to a pull-rod suspension represents most likely the most significant philosophical change on the entire grid. After all, Frédéric Vasseur has stated it without holding back, pointing out that the new car is 99% new compared to the 2024 version. The question is, was it really necessary to completely overhaul a project that was only 14 points away from winning the Constructors Championship? Evidently, for the Maranello team, the answer is yes. The Ferrari technicians and engineers decided to go all in for this season, even though the major regulatory revolution coming in 2026 presents another big opportunity, another chance not to be missed. During the 3-day pre-season testing session at the Bahrain International Circuit, the drivers were available to the team on the first day, in order to gather as much information as possible to understand the new SF-25. The mission has not been fully completed yet, but significant elements have likely been identified, such as aerodynamic load levels and the windows that compromise the car's balance. The Ferrari engineers will probably need more time to unlock the SF-25 car's maximum potential, but this risk might pay off in the long run, especially considering the fact that the upcoming season will include 24 races. So, who will come out on top? On one side, we have McLaren's approach focused on continuity. The work done in previous championships has served as the foundation for a season where the goal is to confirm their position at the top. On the other side, we have Ferrari, which has taken significant risks, with the awareness that it can contend for the World Championships if everything goes right. Which of the two approaches will prove to be victorious? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. We are in for a spectacular championship. For now, the checkered flag waves on preseason testing in Bahrain. The 3 days dedicated to teams for testing the new 2025 single-seaters have come to an end, shifting the focus to new horizons, such as the first race of the season in Melbourne. Although the British team played a bit of hide-and-seek, especially in terms of qualifying runs, the strong performance of the MCL-39 single-seater was evident to everyone. The race pace simulation times set by both Papaya drivers were significantly better than the closest competitors, namely Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes. What stood out the most were two key aspects: the car's exceptional consistency and its high grip levels despite the unusual weather conditions seen in Sakir last week. This latter aspect alone suggests that the car possesses a crucial strength: the ability to perform well even in difficult conditions, which could make the difference in certain races against its main rivals. McLaren will debut in Melbourne as world champions and will be among the favorites for the upcoming championship. But will they dominate the season? It will all depend on how much the main challengers have been hiding. Expectations were high for the debut of the Ferrari SF-25 car, especially with Lewis Hamilton now driving for the Italian side. However, What we saw over these 3 days has raised some doubts about the new car's performance. Between race pace stints that were lackluster compared to McLaren and noticeable instability at the front end, forcing Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc into frequent micro-corrections, there are many uncertainties about Ferrari's true position in the pecking order. While Lewis Hamilton admitted he feels comfortable driving the SF-25, Charles Leclerc acknowledged that the team still needs to find a setup that satisfies him. It has been revealed that the Italian team conducted various on-track tests with different fuel loads compared to its rivals. This suggests that Ferrari has taken a diversified approach, so could we be in for a pleasant surprise at the start of the 2025 Formula One season? Since his arrival at Ferrari as team principal, Frédéric Vasseur has increasingly shaped the team in his own image. The Frenchman has made changes in every area of the team: technical director, strategist, race engineer, and, with the arrival of Lewis Hamilton, even the driver lineup. With his leadership at the helm of the Italian side, the negative trend of the past 2 decades seemed at times to be reversed, but not enough to secure a world title. The 2025 Formula One season brings the usual expectations for Ferrari, which, as always, is obliged to win simply because of its name and history. These expectations, further heightened by the arrival of the 7-time world champion, have led the team to take a major risk, radically changing its technical project despite being in the final year of this regulatory era. Ferrari's engineers have shown great courage by opting for a historic change to the front suspension. However, this means starting from scratch and understanding the car, identifying its operating windows, and finding the best setup parameters. Early difficulties in this area were already evident during pre-season testing in Bahrain. In simple terms, this decision forces the Maranello team to make significant efforts that, if not properly directed, could create a dangerous boomerang effect. While we have focused on Ferrari and McLaren, no discussion regarding the championship fight should leave out Red Bull. The question is, will the RB21 be the key to success for the Austrian team? After the issues Liam Lawson encountered on Thursday, which forced the New Zealander to lose valuable track time, even Max Verstappen experienced difficulties, particularly with the car's balance, requiring several corrections at the limit. However, on Friday afternoon, the 4-time world champion delivered a consistent race simulation stint, allowing him to end the test on a positive note. In less than 2 weeks, Formula One engines will roar back to life in Australia, the first stop of the championship. The Albert Park circuit has very different characteristics compared to Bahrain, which could lead to results quite different from what we have seen in testing. Hopefully, a lot closer to McLaren in the battle for the race victory. Temperatures will also play a crucial role, ranging from 28 to 33 degrees Celsius, which is significantly higher than those recorded in Sakhir during the pre-season testing period. McLaren will arrive as the favorite, but the real question is what will happen behind them. Will it be a 4-team battle, or will Ferrari, the winner of the last 2 editions, reveal previously unseen performance? Testing will give way to race weekends, where hiding strategies and waiting games are no longer an option.